Welcome, everyone, to the Daily Slab for Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. I'm Nate, and I'm here with your sports card rundown. If you like this video, please click the like and the subscribe button. Helps us get this video out to more card collectors like yourselves. All right, first up today, we've got What's Hot. And What's Hot is sneaky rarity. So we talked about Trevor Lawrence last week in a sneakily rare card. And it seemed to have gone over well. So I went digging, looking for another sneakily rare card. And so I want to share with you my findings today. And, well, we're talking 2019 Prism Blue Ice, numbered to 99 here, of Jordan Poole. So this card, 39 graded by PSA, BGS, and SGC. 39 total out of the 99. Now, a point needs to be made here that I don't know how many of these have been regraded. You'll notice that when we get to other guys, specifically Zion, there's more graded than there are copies out there. So there is some regrade stuff going on here, but I don't have the numbers on that. I don't know which cards have been regraded at all, so I can't comment on that for this exercise. But what I can say is that Jordan Poole's 2019 Prism Blue Ice, numbered to 99, has been graded 39 times. It has a 10.26% gem rate. Only 4 cards have gemmed out of all 39 graded. And of those 4, all of them were PSA 10s. So only a 10.26% or 10.26% gem right there. Crazy low, especially for a card that's out of 99, and especially for a guy like Jordan Poole, who, if you have this card, if you've pulled this card, you're probably getting it graded because he just won a championship last year. He's averaging 20 points this game this year. He's a very good player, and you're going to want to have one of his best rookie cards graded and then presumably sold, right? And so we're talking 10%. To put that in comparison, compared to his compadres in the old Blue Ice from 2019 Prism Basketball here, I've got 4 examples that are on Card Ladder. You've got Ja, 14 gems, a 14.29% gem rate. So 4% better gem rate there. And that's a pop 98. So one hasn't been graded, quote unquote. But of course, we know that's not true. There have been plenty that have been cross graded here or there. Zion, he has a 23.42% gem rate out of 26 gems and a pop of 111 there. 111 is, of course, higher than the 99 that were produced. So you can do the math there. Fishy, and that affects the gem rate, but 23.42%. Darius Garland, he's got his card on Card Ladder, and we are talking a 16 gems out of a pop of 41 for a 39% gem rate. So this is the closest pop number to Jordan Poole's 39, but the gem rate is way higher at 39%, whereas the closest gem rate is Ja Morant's at 14%, but the pop is 98 compared to 39. And then we have LeBron. He's the last one that we had in this on Card Ladder, and he has a gem rate of 80%. There's 56 have gemmed out of a population of 70. And this is across all, BGS 9.5, PSA 10, SGC 10, across the entire board. These are what are considered gem, right? So you can see that LeBron has the highest gem rate. Poole has the lowest gem rate. Poole also has the lowest amount graded, but a shockingly low, 39 graded is still a healthy sample size to only have 4 gem at a 10 or a 9.5 if it's BGS. Pretty crazy, but what's even crazier is the Card Ladder values here. So the Card Ladder value on the PSA 10 Jordan Poole, $1,312. The Card Ladder value for the next closest Card Ladder value above it is Darius Garland's at $1,419, but there are 12 more gems of Darius Garland than there are Jordan Poole, and yet the Garland is considered to be $100 more expensive by Card Ladder. You have Zion's PSA 10 value at $9,662. You have Ja Morant's PSA 10 value at $11,330. And again, there are the gem rate is close to the same, 14%, but there are 10 more gems out there of Ja Morant than there are of Jordan Poole. And of course, different players. I get that, but still pretty interesting. The one I thought was extremely interesting is LeBron's 2019 Prism Blue out of 99 PSA 10 because it's an 80% gem rate. There's 56 gems. PSA 10 value $470. There's almost 6 times the amount of PSA 10 specifically at 22 than there are of Jordan Poole's at 4, and yet the price almost 6 times, and yet the price for Card Ladder at $470 isn't even quite a third of the price of what Jordan Poole's Card Ladder value is here. So I thought that was interesting because Jordan Poole, one of the top rookies from this class, PSA 10, a super rare card, and yet the Card Ladder value for it compared to the Card Ladder value for LeBron doesn't really match up, considering the pop for LeBron is 6 times higher, and the total pop of 56 is significantly higher than Jordan Poole's pop 4. So if you have blue ice and you haven't got it graded, get it graded because this is a low pop, and as long as you don't grade like 10 of them at a time and get all 10s, you're going to be sitting on a very rare card. And if you know somebody that has it, ask them about it. See if they have it available. See if they notice that, and tell them about how rare it is, because this is a sneakily rare card. All right, our IG post of the day is Trevor Lawrence's cards here that you can see on the screen. We've got the Panini 1 auto outnumbered at 30. That is $950, up 61% in the last 2 months. And we have the Optic Preview Red and Green. That is $90, and that is up 165% in the last 2 months. Now, Trevor Lawrence has led his Jaguars to the playoffs. They are going to be playing the Chargers in the first round. And it's pretty incredible because they were sitting at 4-8. A long way off from the playoffs, and they won their last 5 games. And in those 5 games, Trevor Lawrence has a 97.8% completion percentage. If you kept that up over the full season for quarterbacks over 2,000 yards passing, he would rank 5th. And then his average, I took his passer ratings, added them up, divided them by 5, give me his average, and his average passer rating over those 5 games was 97.3. And if he kept that up over a full season for QBs over 2,000 yards passing, he would have finished 8th. So 5th in completion percentage, 8th in passing. Pretty incredible. He also added in 8 touchdowns in those 5 games to only 2 interceptions. He added 2 rushing touchdowns, and he was only sacked 4 times. He had games this year where he was sacked 4 times, 5 times in a game. To only be sacked 4 times over the course of a 5-game span is very helpful to winning football, and the Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence were playing winning football, and the proof is in the pudding. You can see the prices there. When you lead your team to the playoffs for the first time since 2017, your prices go up, and I'm sure the Jaguars and Jaguars fans are thrilled that Trevor Lawrence is their QB for the future. And then lastly, we have our trender of the day, and I wrote about this over the weekend, the Davante Adams trender, and I was a hopeful Packer fan at the time, a very hopeful Packer fan, in which we talked about the Packers, and they're 1 game away from the Super Bowl, 1 game away from the playoffs. All you have to do is win, but, we were really missing Davante Adams at the time because I don't think we would have been 8-8 if we had Davante Adams. Well, fast forward past Sunday, and both the Packers missed the playoffs, the Raiders missed the playoffs, and it looks like nobody won in the Davante Adams trade situation, least of all card collectors. Davante had an amazing year. We're talking 1,500 plus yards. We're talking 14 touchdowns. That was significantly more than the highest totals for any Packers wide receiver in both yards and touchdowns, by like 700 yards and 7 touchdowns. Just crazy numbers he put up. And yet his card prices are dropping. We're talking his Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10 in the last year has dropped $244, 79%. And it's one of those things where the Packers had a poor showing all year, found themselves with a chance to win. And I think if Davante Adams was there, they would have won that game. But if he was there, they would have probably won more games this year. The Raiders did not win games. Derek Carr was not good. The Raiders team was not good. It's just a tough scene for everyone involved. And if one Davante Adams was on the Packers, I think both teams would be in a better shape because the Raiders would have had their picks and just kept building, and the Packers would have had their top weapon. But that's not how it works in the NFL, and both the Packers and the Raiders both missed the playoffs, both had disappointing seasons. All right, that is the end of the Daily Slab for Tuesday. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and I will talk to you on Wednesday for the next Daily Slab. See you, everyone.